You know what I got yesterday?
What's that?
Sunburn.
What kind of sunburn?
Sunburn from the beautiful weather in Arizona. Very, very warm. Very warm. I'm sure it's still cold in New York. Welcome.
It's actually warming up here. It was 70s over the weekend.
70s all week. Spring is here, everybody. Word 'em up. Follow the Lunatic Radio Show at Lunatic Radio, at Twitter at Lunatic Radio. If you'd like to leave a donation to the program, the Lunatic Radio program, log on to our website, lunaticradio.com, bottom right-hand corner, click the donation button. Go ahead, Chris.
So Kieran can subscribe to the Yes Network.
Right, so I can subscribe to the Yes Network. What is really annoying me now that when I control the shows from Arizona, every time I start the show, my backdrop dies out. I don't know why.
It's a new thing.
It's a new thing. I need somebody to fix that glitch, and it's probably going to be me because I'm the only one here, and I have to fix the glitch.
Is it happening on the other shows or just the one?
No, because Rocket controls... No, yeah, it happens on any show that I do from here. I don't know why. My backdrop dies out every damn time I start the show. It's on, and then it dies out.
You need a rocket.
Yeah, I need a rocket. I need a lot of things. I didn't take my brain pill before the show, so this is going to be a doozy. Going to do something a little bit different because it's the eve of the Masters tournament there in Augusta, Georgia. At the top of the next hour, it's going to be the return of Fat Kev, P-H-A-T Kev, my brother. I'm not going to no longer call him Fat Kev on the radio show. He's a gentleman now.
I'll call him Slim Kev.
He's distinguished. He's an older gentleman. He has a nearly grown son, so I'm not going to call him Fat Kev anymore. But he's going to make his triumphant return to the program. And we're going to talk a little Masters golf. That's what I'm going to talk. Go ahead.
I'm excited about that.
I know you know nothing about golf. You can even,
I mean, you can literally buy. I wouldn't. I don't think I know. I know enough to get buy. That's about it.
Well, yeah. No, we're gonna just.
I know all the major players.
We're gonna.
Ernie Els, right?
Yeah, Ernie's not. I don't think Ernie's playing this year. Ernie's not playing. I don't think Ernie was invited.
That guy's name, Greg Norman, the Shark.
No, not playing this year in the Masters. Not
Trevino.
Lee Trevino. Not. I don't even know if he might be dead. Is Lee Trevino?
Arnold Palmer.
I don't believe Lee Trevino is playing. Tiger Woods is playing.
No, who cares about that?
That's one you know. You know what Tiger Woods.
He should go back to bank.
Give me 5 golfers that might be playing. Seriously, give me 5, and I might allow you to partake in a segment.
Oh, listen, I'll end the show or I'll leave. It's okay. You guys can go ahead and talk. I don't have to test
Yeah, Tiger Woods is in the...
Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson.
That's 2. Right? That's 2.
That Vijay Singh, right? That guy?
I don't... He's probably a part of... Yes, he's probably a part. I'm not sure if he's a part of the field. He can be.
Rory McIlroy.
That's
like
4.
That? Is that his name, Rory McIlroy?
It was close enough. Survey says McIlroy.
McIlroy, right? I know that guy. I know the McIlroy guy, and I know
Rory McIlroy. By the way, Vegas 8-1 odds to win. He's the favorite to win.
Good. I always thought Phil Mickelson was overrated.
Well, he's the 9th winningest golfer in history.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I wouldn't say that's an overrated golfer.
Easy competition, I would say. He only has Tiger to beat, and then when Tiger went down for those few years, he had his opportunity and he didn't do shit.
He won a few. I will say this about the Masters and Tiger Woods. He's 43 years old, and he's playing on par with everybody that's in their prime right now, that they call the best players in the world. He went from, I think, ranked 381st in the world to ranked 12th in like a year. So he's pretty good. I think Tiger Woods is pretty good. So I think he'll do.
Well, I didn't say Tiger Woods. I'm talking about Phil Mickelson.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying, people are giving Tiger Woods criticism. They're not picking him this year.
No, look, he went through all the shit that he went through, and he's coming back.
He's back to form.
He's got a second wind, I would say.
Right. So we're gonna talk to my brother. My brother is gonna call into the program. We talk a little Masters. A short little segment about. I think that's what we might do. I was talking to him because Kev and I are big golf fans. Kev used to be a teaching pro. He knows the game very well. He's obviously a fan of the professional golf. So we're gonna talk every time there's a major. Because the PGA Tour realigned their.
Oh wait, I didn't give you my other.
No, you gave me 5, didn't you?
No, I think it was.
You gave me
4.
Tiger, Phil Mickelson, Vijay Singh, 3 old motherfuckers, Rory McIlroy, which is like pretty much the second-ranked player in the world, and now you got to give me one more. That's right, you got to give me one more. You didn't give me another.
Jordan Spieth.
Yes. Did you just Google that? Because I see you looking at.
No, I saw him on the last golfing match I watched.
Golfing match. Okay.
Yeah. See, obviously, I don't know.
Golf tournament.
And I know Dustin Johnson.
That's 6. There you go.
All right.
There you go. You're doing pretty good.
And my favorite golfer doesn't play anymore, right? The big guy. What's his name?
John Daly.
Yeah. I love that guy.
No, he's on the senior tour. He never.
Senior tour?
He's on the senior tour, wearing loud pants.
He was my favorite golfer.
Yeah, So we'll talk to Kev. Probably for probably once a month for the next 4 months because there are 4 major tournaments each month leading up to July when they go over to Ireland and play the Open Championship.
That's exciting. You're gonna spread it out over other shows, or it's just me that gets lucky?
You might get stuck with every single one because the tournament always start on Thursday. We do the show on Wednesday, so you might have to start learning baseball. We could do a little baseball too, but we're gonna talk about the Masters because that's the big. We're gonna nerd out a little bit on the golf.
Is he going to the Masters?
No, he's not. No, but we're gonna tell you it's exciting. It's the best golf tournament.
Did you already go to Pebble Beach this year?
No, I'm going in a couple weeks.
When are you going?
I'm gonna go visit in a couple weeks. That will be a good one because that will be the U.S. Open, and I'll have played the course. Kev's already played the course, so that'll be a good one to talk about. Exciting stuff. A lot to do on the program.
The only thing more boring about watching golf is talking about golf.
In your mind, but in some people's mind, it isn't. Some people
find I hear it on sports talk radio shows. Like if I'm listening to sports talk radio shows, as soon as
you turn it off, it's like hockey.
I'm done. It's just like, all right, who the fuck wants to hear?
Well, it's just something you're not into. If you're not into it, then
it's just a bunch of white privileged dudes fucking swinging a stick at a ball. It's not a sport to me. It's not.
Dude, I feel the same way about fucking tennis. I get it. I feel the same way about fucking tennis.
I could say the same thing about tennis too, but I think there's athletes in tennis. Like, look at Venus.
Well, I get it. Golf is like a skill, but when you get 2 fucking 6'6" guys standing across each other from a net, like a tennis net, and they're hitting the ball 180 miles an hour at each other, is it really going to be much of a fucking sport? I mean, it's kind of dodgeball at that point, isn't it?
Think about it. But you got to hit that tennis ball.
I know, but what I'm saying,
miles an hour, that's sport, man.
What I'm saying is, not much of a volley going on. So, is there really? I mean, is there?
Yeah, of course there's a volley. You never watched tennis or something?
The only strategy, tennis stinks. It really does.
No, it doesn't.
I think the athletes have become too superior, too big, too strong, bigger, stronger, faster for the game of tennis. When dudes are hitting, yes, because they're like back in the 70s, I don't think we had an abundance of guys that were 6'4" playing tennis. What?
There's a guy then there comes along a guy like John Daly who could play golf really well.
Well, yeah, but golf
He's not an athlete.
Golf has improved when it comes to the individual playing it these days, as opposed to back in the 80s and 70s. Of course,
I think the field is weak. It's been weak for a while.
But the golf field, nowadays, I think the average player that's on playing professional golf nowadays is way better than the average player.
No way.
In decades. No, you're a guy.
You used to have real battles back in the 90s.
folks that are listening to this, they know who they're siding with. They're siding with me on this one because
all right, we'll take it up with Kev.
you're listening to a gentleman who could barely name 6 golfers 5 minutes ago.
You know why? Because I can name all the old golfers that I really enjoyed. I actually enjoyed watching them play.
Yeah. Give me those guys. Who are those guys?
All the guys I mentioned earlier that are no longer playing.
The 6 you mentioned, all the guys, all 6. 3 of them.
No, I mentioned Lee Trevino, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus. These guys were great.
Dude, you're younger than I am. It's not like you grew up in their era.
I stopped watching golf
when you were born.
I stopped paying attention to golf as soon as Tiger Woods took off because I said, all right, no one's beating him anymore. There's no point in watching. Right. So I stopped. And really, I don't think anyone, outside of Tiger is that great.
Right. They're not on.
You're telling me, okay, like when you used to have tournaments where, Palmer and fucking Jack Nicholson were going head to head. You know what I mean? Lee Trevino and fucking all the other guys, the Shark and all those other guys. They were fun characters to watch play golf.
Right.
There's none of that going on anymore.
There's some fun character. I mean, I don't know.
Tiger has zero personality. You look at his face and you just say, there's something wrong with this guy.
I can't argue that. Like I'm not, there's no way I'm going to convince
my favorite golfer of all time doesn't play anymore. His name is Shooter McGavin.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember he lost to Happy Gilmore in that big fucking tournament they had. I believe things went awry when he beat the shit out of Bob Barker. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to convince you that there's some fucking crazy characters on the PGA Tour. I mean, there aren't. They slay pussy, though. I will say that. All them, Dustin Johnson, he's dating Wayne Gretzky's fucking daughter. He gave her a fuck trophy. You know what I'm saying?
Jeremy Bacon in the chat room says, Shooter McGavin lost in the Waste Management Open.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So we're gonna do some different things on the program today.
Great. I'm excited about this.
I believe Chris has a new segment he wants to introduce to everybody.
I thought we were gonna get into the since we're talking about sports, get into
the Craig Carton thing.
Yeah.
For folks who don't know who Craig Carton is, he was a part of a sports radio show in New York City called the Boomer and Carton Show. It was the #1 sports talk radio show in the country, in the United States at the time. He was making $2 million a year.
More than
that. Maybe even more than that. And he's now been sentenced to go to prison for 3.5 years for misappropriating funds from a ticketing business that he began. And the misappropriation of funds were in the millions. And the reason why he was misappropriating those funds is because he had a massive gambling debt in the millions to casinos all over the country. And he appeared on the Michael Kay radio show on ESPN 98.7 New York. Which is literally like listening to if a piece of sheetrock could speak. That's what's.
My God, you hate the show that much?
Oh my God, he is the blandest motherfucker ever.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I try because I like Peter Rosen. I've known Peter for a while. I try, and I just can't.
Yeah, no, it's not fun. It's not fun. And so Craig Carton, he's going to prison. But, he's got he's got some weeks off before he has to sign up and go, So he appeared on Michael Kay's show, and he talked a little bit about, what happened. What would happen on, a morning basis when he would wake up. And some of the things he would do to satisfy his gambling habit, one of which was getting up at midnight and leaving his apartment in Tribeca, in Manhattan, and actually taking a helicopter to Atlantic City, gambling, and then, like I said, I believe I said on a previous show, he would actually fly to Atlantic City, gamble for a few hours, then hop on a helicopter and fly back to Manhattan and do a show at 6 o'clock in the morning. Dude, because he had that much of a gambling problem. Yeah, here's Carton on the 98.7 ESPN Michael K. Show.
There were times when my family would be sleeping. We lived in Tribeca. And I normally got up at about 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. I like to be at the radio station by 4 a.m. And I'd be on a helicopter at midnight, landing on the roof of the Golden Nugget to go play blackjack, typically at, Borgata, Golden Nugget, Harrah's, and hope to get back to the roof of the Nugget in time to get on a helicopter and come back in time for my show. There were times when I would get in the car and drive to the Poconos to gamble at Sands in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, pretty. That's an addiction. I mean, if you know anything about Manhattan and where the Poconos and Atlantic City are located in relation to Manhattan, that's quite a hike. It's kind of a hike to do that. You're traveling the whole length of New Jersey to get to Atlantic City, and the Poconos are in Pennsylvania. So you go, it's quite a thing to do in the middle of the night to satisfy your addiction.
Any time you're slipping out in the cover of darkness to go gamble,
right?
To hide it from your family and all that stuff. Wherever you're going, it's bad, and it's definitely can point to an addiction there. But I don't think that was. See, I don't think he was completely truthful in what he was saying, because I don't think he was just addicted to the gambling
during the interview.
Yeah, I really do think he was addicted to the high life. You know what I mean?
Well, he actually, in the next clip I have, it's funny you say that. In the next clip I have, the next short clip that I have, I don't have many clips of this because it was a very long interview and I didn't have many times to go through everything. It was kind of, some of it was kind of bland. It didn't make, I wanted to get to the gambling, like the addiction problem. But he talks about, in this next clip, about how he won an insane amount of money and didn't even tell anybody. Here it is.
I won $4 million in 3 days playing blackjack at Resorts World in Bimini in the Bahamas, and didn't tell a person, didn't buy anything, didn't celebrate it, didn't drink, didn't say, hey, didn't go to the strip club, right? And 2 weeks later, I lost $700,000 in an Atlantic City casino. I didn't punch a wall. I didn't get pissed off, and that was life.
But that's pretty fucking. I mean, you win $4 million, right? And you're not telling a soul.
He's not telling a soul because he owes people money.
Maybe. That could be right.
No, not maybe. That's exactly why. Because when you owe people money and you come into money, the last thing you want anyone to know is that you have money. And that goes for every famous person, too, because when people know you have money, or family members know you have money, they come out of the woodwork to borrow something. So if he wins $4 million, he's not telling anybody because... he's probably got favors he's got to fucking, come through on. And also he's got debts to fucking settle and he's not talking about it. So I don't buy it on that, in that respect, because I think that $4 million, winning that $4 million coincides with his lie to everybody else. He's not. That is
a good take. And you could be right there.
Yeah, and so like what I'm saying to you, like
he also mentioned during the interview that like because his addiction stemmed from, he claimed, sexual abuse that happened to him when he was a kid.
Everybody's got everybody's got some kind of childhood thing that happened to them that definitely affects them later in life. I can sympathize with that. I get it, but I mean, I've met the guy a few times, and he's a great guy. He's like so full of energy and fun and all that stuff.
I met him once. He seemed like a really good guy.
Yeah. But he's also the guy that likes the attention. He really liked the attention of the high life.
Right.
He liked walking into a place and buying drinks for people, and everybody fucking patting him on the back and
being everybody's buddy.
Giving him accolades and stuff like that. So part of what goes with gambling and all that is a fun atmosphere a lot. And, I think he really was addicted to keeping up appearances, having an apartment in Tribeca.
Right.
He could have easily just have had an apartment in Long Island or Westchester or wherever else. Think about this. His partner on the radio show, Boomer Esiason, right, who's borderline Hall of Fame football player. Has been to Super Bowls. He's played. Had a great career. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Made millions of dollars. He's on TV on CBS all the time. He's on, whatever. He's on a bunch of shows, and he's got this radio show. He's making way more money. Has a lot more fame. And he's the opposite. He's like this fucking guy who, retreats to his home in Long Island every day and, kind of fucking lives a fucking,
a nice life, but a normal life, a humble life.
Right. And he's not showing off is what I'm saying. Like, and part of Craig's thing was showing off. Him putting down, $100,000 bets is showing off. It was part of it.
Well, he did say in his interview, and maybe he's, kind of maybe fabricating a little bit. He said when he would play blackjack at these casinos, he liked to do it almost in privacy. He didn't want to have a crowd around him. The reason why he liked blackjack,
because he owed people money.
Maybe that's right. I mean, it's an interesting take to have. It could be right,
So if the guy who's running the Borgata knows that he's down the block at fucking Caesars,
right, putting
down $100,000 bets when he owes a fucking $300,000 marker,
he did.
You know what's going to happen? He's going to pay him a visit while he's at those tables.
He did.
So of course he wants to keep it quiet.
He did say in one portion of the interview that one of the casinos allowed him to play 5 hands of blackjack at once at $25,000 a piece.
That's nuts.
That's fucking insane. Yeah, and also that
sounds like a guy who's not looking for attention.
There was another one where a guy, I believe he mentioned in the interview, where a guy gave him, I think he gave him $1 million and was like, I want like $500,000 back. So he took that $1 million for that guy. This guy gave him to go gamble with. Right. He won him 5.
And again, that guy bought. He's buying Craig's friendship. He wants to be in the high life too. He wants the action. He wants to be part of some celebrity lifestyle, and that's really what happened to Craig. I think it was a combination of the gambling, sure, but it was becoming a celebrity that really I think affected him, and turned the way he did things, because he's been in radio for a long time. Gambling was never a thing for him 20 years ago when he wasn't making any money. But as soon as he had some money in his pocket, that's what happened. He kicked it up. You know what I mean? But if you strip away the salary, you're paying him $50,000 a year. He's not going out and taking those chances.
So he took that guy's money to finish the story. He took the guy's $1 million, went down to Atlantic City, won $500,000 for the guy. He put $500,000 in a bag, put it on a helicopter, and that helicopter flew back to Manhattan alone. $500,000 in a bag, just flew back to Manhattan alone, and somebody was there. Some guy just picked it up. Just crazy stories. Like he would walk into casinos with like $1 million cash in a bag.
It's a crazy lifestyle.
It was nuts. Crazy, crazy lifestyle, and not for no one to really know anything about it. The guys on his radio show knew he loved to gamble and stuff like that. I'm sure Chris doesn't believe that they didn't know anything about it, but
I definitely don't think they all knew that he had a problem.
Yeah,
everybody knew it.
But who knows? I mean, and now obviously he's paying the price for it, and it was interesting. The couple takes I got from the interview that he did with Michael Kay is, number one, Craig Carton is way more of a compelling sports talk radio personality than anybody on the Michael Kay show.
By the way, you know why he went on Michael Kay, right?
Well, apparently WFAN didn't want him.
I understand that, but he could have did something else. He did Michael Kay just to stick it to Francesa.
Maybe he did that too. Yeah, because Michael Kay certainly won that
day. It's so transparent.
Well, Michael Kay won that day in the ratings of New York radio.
Of course, but it's like you're obviously you could have gone on someone's podcast. You could have gone on
could have gone on Stern.
You can go on Stern. You can go on all these other.
Today Show, fucking shows. GMA. He could have gone.
You could have did Mad Dog on Sirius XM. He did all kinds of stuff. But he went and did K Show. Just stick it to.
Could have done the Stephen A. Smith show, but no, he didn't.
He could have done the Stephen A. Smith show. No, he could have. You were 100% wrong. It wasn't even him that jumped on the court.
Wasn't that Stephen A. Smith?
It was not.
I didn't. I was wrong. Who was it?
Smith.
I thought
it was a fucking coach.
Then whoever posted that on the internet was wrong because they said it was Stephen A. Smith.
Of course, you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
I do. I believe that all those porn stars that I watch love me.
None of them love you.
How come they keep on showing themselves naked? That is the line of an insane
That's
person.
how you get. That's how they get you to buy stuff from them.
Let's see. Sounds like Jeremy Bacon checking in. Sounds like a normal Friday when I lose $50 and on a scratch off tickets. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Craig Carton.
I just don't buy it, dude. I think if he wasn't, he keeps defending his actions of saying I didn't really do anything wrong. I just gambled. The minute you take somebody's money,
he said that ticketing business that he set up was legit. He just fell into gambling debt.
Yeah, but why did he set up that business? That's a weird business for a sports talk radio host.
I don't know.
Fucking get into. He got into it so he can get quick money.
I don't know, but you don't really know either. You're just you're coming up with like the conspiracy theories. I'm taking
I know addicts.
I'm taking a guy at his word who's in the public eye and has been convicted of things in a courtroom. So I got to imagine when he's talking about that in a public forum, he's kind of being as honest as possible. Don't you think?
He's worried about his career past his jail sentencing. So he feels like if he gets to talk about it as much as he can now before he goes into jail, then he'll write the book in jail, and then he'll publish that book the same time he's getting out, and then he'll make a radio deal or some kind of streaming deal with somebody to do his own show or whatever, and it's all a plan. It's all a plan.
Definitely doing a little bit of PR right now.
Right. Absolutely. And the thing is, like, I don't know his story. I don't know why he did what he did, but I do know addicts. I know how they are. And when they're in a position where they can, when people just give them money like that, they're going to take it. And so all he needed was to set up a business with the guys of like, okay, I'm going to take your money, but I'm going to make it legitimate. I'm not going to make it so I can gamble your money. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to go, hey, give me $1 million. I'll go gamble it. And So he set up a business that make it look legitimate. But really what he was doing was just taking people's money. Right.
You don't know what exactly his intent was. The only person that knows that is him. You know what I mean?
Sure, but that was his fucking intent. Let's be honest. He even says in that interview that he got caught up with the wrong people when he started that business. Those businesses are usually run by sketchy characters, guys who say they can get you the best tickets and stuff like that. They're not like legitimate business,
like scalping kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a legitimate fucking business, man. It's not a legitimate business. So, you get some sketchy characters. So the idea is he's letting those sketchy characters do the dirty work, but he was bringing in the millions of dollars. You know what I mean? So it's,
Craig Carton is
maybe it was legitimate, but like a guy in his position doesn't get involved in a business like that. You know what I mean? They have a financial advisor. They get their money invested in legitimate businesses, legitimate real estate, and they let their money work for them that way. They don't fucking, they don't go into a ticketing fucking scheme.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like he even said too in that interview that, the stock market is like gambling. Yeah, I get it. The stock market is gambling, but it's monitored by the fucking government. You know what I mean?
Right. No, you're right. I get it.
It's full of shit. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he's just like every other guy out there who's full of shit, like the everyday man, which is what he presents himself as when he's a radio host. But he's doing it in a different tax bracket than the average man. Yeah. The plumber guy, the guy that's fucking digging the ditch, the guy that's the garbage man.
In other words, $2 million or $4 million, whatever he was making a year, wasn't enough for him. He had to go and do something sketchy.
There are a lot of blue collar guys that have side gigs and other ways to make money, and Craig Carton was pretty much doing that kind of thing, but on a different level.
Yeah.
Right? And he got himself in trouble because you can get yourself in trouble when you have a little bit of fame to you and access to people with a lot of money. Yeah, fucking gambling. I don't understand gambling. Like, I've been to Vegas, I don't know how many fucking times, 7, 8 times, and I've never placed one bet. I don't get the addiction to gambling, but, you know, I don't know.
I mean, look, it's if you don't like addicts are addicts. You know, if they don't get addicted to gambling, they're gonna get addicted to something else. But you know, if you sit down at a table and don't realize, hey, this is just entertainment. You know, and if I spend $1,000 tonight, it was for my own enjoyment. You know, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna have a few drinks and I'm gonna play a game, and maybe I'll win and maybe I'll lose. But if it goes beyond that, then you're an addict for sure.
So, all right, yeah, I guess.
If it becomes a lifestyle, Kieran,
yeah,
if it becomes something that you need to do all the time, like on your phone, and you know, going to casinos 3-4 nights a week. That's
what he was doing was the fucking extreme. That was bizarre.
But you know, like again, that goes along with the high life. He was getting off on the idea that these casinos would fly him in and fly him out. He was getting off on it.
Partly, and also he was spending a lot of money there, so it's beneficial to them.
Yeah. So
they're always going to win at the end.
They fly people in on helicopter from the city all the time, especially high rollers. They'll do that in a second. They'll send planes to anywhere in the fucking world to get high rollers into those casinos, because those are the guys that are dropping hundreds of thousands of dollars in a night.
Right.
So what's the big deal to charter a fucking jet, you know, to go pick somebody up in England or some shit like that, just to bring them to Atlantic City? It's nothing to them.
Right. Well, it's definitely a kind of an interesting story. I'm sure there'll be a book about it.
Yeah,
at some
it's
point.
not over. Yeah, I'm sure there will be a book about it.
There'll be a book about it, and he'll, you know, after 3.5 years in jail, he'll be back. Somebody will give him a job somewhere.
I guarantee he'll figure out a way to do some kind of podcast from jail. I mean, Bill Cosby's putting out tweets.
Is he? Really?
Did you see that? Yeah,
no.
He put out a tweet.
I had no idea. Yeah. I heard the last report I heard about Bill Cosby. You're mentioning this one about tweets, but I heard he was having a good time.
Yes, he was enjoying his time in prison. It's allowing him to reflect
and relax. Almost, it's like allowing him to relax. It's like a time out. You know, it's everything's simple. You know, life is simple in jail.
Yeah, he put out a tweet 5 days ago.
What did he say?
Hold on a second.
That'd be fucking interesting to hear what he had to say. I had no idea. Yeah.
They have proven that they do not have the best interests of their clients in mind, which
is about his is it about his case?
Huh?
Is it about his case?
Hold on a second. I think he was talking about.
He
was talking about getting ripped off. That's what he was talking about. He was talking about getting ripped off by AIG on shows.
On shows?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like a show he did.
Oh.
Like a tour he did.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
So
some sort of comedy thing, like in a financial firm was ripping him off. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, that Bill's fucking getting all.
He's not going away, man.
Not going away. He's old too. Shit.
Look at Kevin Spacey. He put out that video right around Christmas.
John D. Noodle's chicken, and this is true. Dementia makes life better. I don't know if I exactly agree with that, but I get where you're going. You know, it kind of sucks when that dementia just it starts making your asshole forget too, and you just start pooping your pants. That's not a good thing. You know, dementia makes you. You know, dementia's a fucking bad thing. You just turn into a vegetable. Yeah. You wanna talk about your new thing you got going on? Your lovely neighborhood.
Let me paint the picture for you.
Your little neighborhood sitcom.
I live in a quaint little Queens town, right?
Oh yeah, here's the sound of it right here.
Queens.
Queens. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Paint the picture. This is actually pretty good because this is definitely what New York is. The city life in New York is what.
Listen, I've lived in pretty much every borough except for Staten Island. All right, in New York.
Dad, you're not going there.
No, definitely not. I would never live in Staten Island. But what happens, you know, is you kind of get tired of the Manhattan lifestyle because it's just, you kind of want to retreat to a little bit of an oasis.
Right.
No pun intended on that. But still very close to Manhattan. Okay, so I'm a 20-minute drive from Manhattan.
Yeah.
I usually do drive into work every morning.
And where you are, you can see a tree or two. I
can see a tree or two, and it's usually very quiet. When I first moved there, it was very quiet, and it was great. I felt like a little bit of solitude. It was my sanctuary, and things were going well. Things are going really, really well. And this person, this neighbor, had lived there for 15 years, so I had never heard. No one had said anything, and she seemed very nice. She approached me when I first moved in. And
what is the lady's name? Do you know?
her name is Elaine.
Elaine.
Yeah, Elaine.
Elaine.
Oh, thank you, Miss Elaine.
Elaine.
Looking forward to seeing you.
So your neighbor Elaine.
So Elaine, sees that I'm a mild-mannered guy.
Yeah.
And I think she starts taking liberties.
Liberties.
She starts parking and blocking my driveway. Sometimes when there's no spots on the street, so she'll block the driveway, thinking I'm just gonna ring her bell when I get home, and she can just move it and put her car right back in there when I pull in, right? So it started out with that type of stuff, and I'm like, look, Elaine, I don't really mind, if you park there late at night after I get home, but when I get home, I don't want to have to ring your bell at 1 a.m. I keep late nights.
Right.
And she's like, oh, I'll try not to do that. I'm sorry. I just thought you were home already. I was like, no problem, whatever. I thought it was fixed, but it wasn't. And she just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And I just got to a point where, things with her, she and I got a little weird.
Not all up to par anymore. Not the sitcom lovely 20-minute fucking nice.
When I moved in, she was married. She had a husband. She had kids living in the house.
Sorry.
Right around about the 2-year mark that I've been there about 4 years now, maybe a little less than 4 years, but right around the 2-year mark, the husband and his father were somehow they sold a piece of property that made them millions of dollars.
Okay.
And the guy just took off. He just took off, man. He said, I'm done. I'm done with this fucking horrible human being, apparently. And he left. And then came the craziness. I mean...
So she got into another relationship, is that what you're saying? And now things have changed.
It set off such a reaction. First came... the music, right? She would play sad music late into the night.
Because the guy left her?
Yeah, and I would just be like, you know what? She's probably just going through this divorce,
She's feeling melancholy, Elaine, upstairs.
Yeah, a lot of 80s and 90s R&B music, So I just said, you know what?
Couple glasses of wine, a little fucking...
let me forget my sorrows kind of thing. So I just said, you know what? Let her have this, Let her play her music. Let her get through this. Whatever way a person is going to get through it, I get it. It must be devastating for her. So I didn't think anything of it. I spent time on other parts of the house so I wouldn't hear the music, where I sleep. And then came a lot of yelling.
You gave me some audio of Elaine.
She would leave her window open in the dead of winter and just yell.
Really?
On the phone. She'd just be yelling on the phone. Like, it wasn't even like talking to somebody. She'd be yelling. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, And then one time I said, hey, Elaine, it's fucking 2 a.m. I gotta get some sleep. You mind?
Right.
And she goes, oh, no problem. I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, all right, no problem, whatever.
Just not listening to you?
Yeah. And then it got to a point where she'd be playing music extremely loud and then yelling over the loud music. And then, just fights. She got this new boyfriend and she's been fighting with him for fucking she went on a roll once, where she would fight with the guy every fucking night for like a week, late into the night. And I think she thinks, because I'm her closest neighbor, I think she thinks that because I'm away a lot, she notices that I'm away a lot. She's even made mention of it in the past that, sometimes I'm just not there. So she thinks she can, go nuts.
Yeah. So she developed some sort of habit because you're gone all the time.
Right.
So she's up there fucking screaming.
But then it just keeps getting louder and louder, and now it starts to affect other neighbors, and other neighbors are just losing their minds. Right. And one neighbor even came to me and said, "Hey, can you do something about this?" And I said, "Hey, she doesn't listen to me, man." This is, it's getting to a weird place, and I don't think anyone can do anything about it.
Elaine is living her life like she's the only one with stress and concerns.
She's living for her.
Right.
She's living for her.
Right. She's living her true self.
Yeah.
So you provided some evidence of these.
Yeah. So also with the guy that she's dating, apparently he's, he has a little money behind him, and he bought her 2 Mercedes Benzes, C-classes, but still Mercedes Benz. Right? So
she's able to land dudes with money.
She literally has 3 cars parked in the street when, parking in Queens is already an issue.
Is she a hot piece of ass, this Elaine?
I wouldn't classify her.
How old is Elaine?
I gotta think that she has 4 kids.
Oh,
so
boy. 4 fuck trophies. She's an all-star.
Either in her late 30s or 40s.
Borderline fuck trophy all-star.
Yeah. She is not.
She's what? You said late 40s?
She's either in her late 30s or 40s, or in her 40s.
All right. All right. So, okay. So you, all this yelling and R&B music playing and drama led you to do what?
I just started recording all this show. Because I thought it'd be funny to play on the show.
Yeah.
Also, when I told people stories about this, they wouldn't believe me.
They don't believe you.
So I just started recording it because it was like, now y'all believe me.
I have nearly, I don't know how many clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6, 7, 8. I have 8 minutes of audio clips.
Okay.
Of Elaine. I put them all together. All right. And we'll just, I picked, some of them I got rid of because there wasn't much happening. It was just like one outburst and that was it. Like she devastated it. But here's some of Elaine, courtesy of Chris. Let me stop my other music that they have fucking playing in the background here. I don't want to try premium. Fucking Christ.
Stop playing YouTube clips.
I know. Here we go.
Play this.
Here we go. Here's Elaine, everybody. Chris's neighbor. So delightful.
I did this. I don't give a fuck about nothing. I give a fuck about you. Taking care of your health, your teeth, your body. These drugs are fucking grinding your teeth.
The music's very loud.
Because you want to smoke a cigarette and you want this and you want that. Smoke the cigarette.
I would imagine Elaine went to loud nightclubs. Because she seems to like having conversations when there's something blaring in her ear.
So if anyone doesn't understand what she just said, she was basically scolding this guy that she's dating about his drug habit and his need to smoke cigarettes all the time.
Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, man. I'm trying to take care of you, and you don't want to take care of yourself.
By the way, this is what it sounds like in my apartment. So you know.
And what time is this usually?
Mostly after midnight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Next clip. Here we go.
I'm fucking sick. Why? Because he wants your fucking money. I'm the only one in the world who don't want your money. You don't get that? The only girl in the world. I'm the only person in the world that don't want your money.
She doesn't want his money. That's what she's saying.
She doesn't want his money.
Money doesn't matter to her. Yeah. Right.
You to be okay. Everybody wants you to be grown up so that you could raise your money.
God damn.
I never done anything to hurt you. Not done anything to help you. You don't get that?
If I'm this guy, I can just picture this guy's face.
If you're a guy who could afford to buy a woman 2 Mercedes Benzes, I'm out. I don't even know why you're even there. It doesn't make any sense.
Perfect, Leroy Jenkins. Who knew that Chris lived right next to Cardi B?
Pussy breathing. You want a fucking yeast infection? Pussy breathing.
I'm surprised I haven't heard that yet.
No, I think I have actually.
All right, here's another. Are these all from the same night, or these are all different?
No, these are spread out.
This is like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She seems to get really excited in this fucking
She's
clip.
calling her boyfriend a junkie and saying, "You should check your mother." Yeah, because I guess he must have said something about
Right.
her mom, and then she just came back at him and just shut him up basically. She kept saying, "Yo, your mother only wants you for money. If you want to play the clip."
You need my man. But I'm thinking you go out to the work. Why don't you take your mother who always tell you shit? I'm the one that's taking care of you. I give your mother the world. I'm the fucking best little mother you've ever lived.
She's the best daughter-in-law.
And she's always
What's that?
She's the best daughter-in-law. She's claiming.
All right, the next clip, she gets really animated. Here we go. Elaine, everybody. Chris's neighbor.
everybody wants you for your money. Everybody wants you for your money. Everybody wants you for your money. I bring you to my home. I feed you, every morning, every afternoon, every night. I feed you. I take care of you.
This is just like a routine for these people. Like they get bombed and then they yell at each other.
Yeah.
Like how that's almost like living. That's what living in New York is like when you're in a relationship.
So on that specific clip, I had my girlfriend over that apartment. She was there already, and I came in, and I already hear it from outside, so I start recording it when I walk in.
Yeah.
And if you hear it for a second there, my girlfriend says, "Do you hear this?"
Yeah, no, I heard. Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
I take care of you. All your family wants is for you to suck in that room and be
Pussy
miserable
breathing.
and die in there so they can take all your money. All right? And I don't care. And I respect your mother, but your mother is also part of that. All right? Your mother is also part of that. Because knowing that you're happy with me at home, cuando tú vienes acá, because you, all she wants is your money. We don't care about you. We fucking humiliating you in the doctor's office.
It literally sounds like you're hanging outside her window, like
No,
climbing
dude,
up
I'm
the
not.
side of the
I'm
building.
not. That's through the fucking walls, dude. That's through the walls.
Here she is. More than the next clip. This is from another time.
It's over. I will never in my life. I swear to you on my 4 kids, I will never be with you again. Never. 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 Never in my life be with you again.
Pussy breathing.
Just so you know.
Wow, she just told her that she's never gonna have sex with him again.
Yeah, that was a breakup. They've broken up a few times, but that was
I
the
will
latest.
never in my life. In my life.
Sounds exactly like Cardi B.
I will never in my
Yeast
life.
infection.
I swear to you on my 4 kids, I will never be with you again. Never.
Pussy breathing.
Never. Never. Never in my life be with you again.
Never.
So you know.
She really wanted to get the fucking point across. So
Yeah, she got it.
she's probably out banging some other dude.
No, this guy's still around.
Still there?
But the next clip, if you have the clip of where she goes, "Just give me back my phone. You could have your diamonds. You could have your money. I just want my phone back."
Yeah, all right, here's the next clip. I'm not sure what it is. Sounds like she's on a plane.
I don't want it here.
There's not much to that one. Let me hear.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, here's the next one. This guy's here.
Because you don't need to be my fucking business. Mind your fucking business. That's what it is. Mind your fucking business. You don't need to be my fucking business. Nothing. You don't need to be my business. No business. No business. Mind your fucking business.
Mind your fucking business, she's saying.
He's trying to talk and she's just shutting him down.
And then nothing. Give my son. Give my cell phone. So I can call my house phone. You're not gonna be? I'm gonna call the cops if you want.
She's claiming she's gonna call the cops. She's not calling the cops. By the way, that specific night, the cops were called. And
did they even show up? They're like, nah, we're not fucking with that.
No, they show up, man.
Yeah.
The cops come, man. When they get called, they come.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the neighbors called the cops, and that was recent, and that was the third time the cops have been to her apartment.
Unreal. God, how the fuck do you live? Oh, I would not. I haven't heard any of my neighbors.
You should play the
I've
last
been here
clip
for
I
years.
sent you, because when the cops came, what she did to the next door neighbor.
Yeah, I have that one. Here's she gets a little bit more animated towards the end of this clip.
Because you like to take everything away from me.
When was the last time I ever took you?
I hate it because you take everything away from me.
When was the last time I ever took you?
The guy sounds like just like he's fucking
He's
loaded.
fucking plastic.
Like-
Yeah, he's totally loaded.
Like he's taking a Mike Tyson punch and he's very fucking woozy.
he's a
And then
boxer
she
on his
starts
last
really
leg.
yelling at him.
He's just wobbling around the ring.
Right.
That's-
Like he's ready to pass out and then she starts getting fucking animated.
Yeah. And
Like,
she's
yeah.
going at. I mean, she's just jabbing away, man. Just
It's like
busy.
you're a hunter and you shoot the deer and then you talk shit to the deer as he's fucking taking his final last couple breaths.
Never.
I want you to get the fuck out of my house. It is over between us.
Never.
I'm never gonna be with you again. Never. This relationship is over. It's done. It's done. It is done.
Pussy breathing.
I don't give a fuck if you ever be happy with each other. It is over between us. I want you to go home. I visit you. I don't give a fuck about nothing. I don't give a fuck about you. Taking care of your house, your teeth, your body. Keep drugging us. I'm fucking grinding your teeth. And you don't want to put that shit in your mouth.
You played that one already.
No, that was another one you sent me. She's played. You sent me ones with music. Like you sent me a few with music in them, and they're just like I don't even know how to fuck. How do you not like go up there and shoot her? Playing music that loud at that late at night. I mean, I guess it is dangerous to approach anybody. Here's the last clip you sent me, which is very
This is
short.
the one where she was defiant against the neighbor.
Is this the one where she says call 911? I don't know if
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's the one I sent you.
He's fucking yelling at the neighbor.
Yeah, so
Pussy breathing.
What'd you say?
Pussy breathing.
I'm tending to think that Elaine is the one with the problem here. Like Elaine's got a drinking problem.
yeah, and one of the clips you didn't play, but one of the clips, the guy she says you're junkie, right? He goes, well, you're an alkie. You get up in the morning and start drinking. That's a problem. And then she just fucking shoves it back in his face. So I function. Like, she's like, I function. Don't you dare come at me about drinking.
Doing that fucking alcoholic logic.
Oh, it's just crazy. And like, you know how much they're drinking when when you take out your recycle garbage. There's just
It's just
a giant bag of fucking wine.
it's
and liquor
clinging and
bottles.
clanging. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, how could anyone drink that much in a week?
What's her? Do you know what her drink of poison is? You should send her
Well,
something.
you understand? You have to understand, guys. There's 3 kids living in that house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just her and her boyfriend and the 2 Mercedes.
No, there's 3 kids living in that house. 3
Pussy
kids.
breathing.
She got fuck trophies living there.
The 4th kid, I was told, like I didn't know this. She has her oldest kid is from a previous marriage, so she's on her. She's been married twice. The first kid lives with the father.
How the fuck does somebody decide to bang her? Marry her twice? How does she find 2 dudes?
Then she had 3 kids with this other guy who just took off after he came into some money.
Right.
And so those 3 kids are living in the house. They're living there.
It makes sense that she's like that. With all that fucking going on?
Because the guy fucking left her and she's now with this drug addict.
No, but it's like the marriage and the kids and having the kids. I mean, it's a lot. That's a lot of ups and downs in life. You know, a lot of struggle. Oh my god, 2 Mercedeses.
2 Mercedeses. I heard her say that once. Yo, he got me 2 Mercedeses.
I gotta go in my other Mercedes. I gotta move my Mercedes. Please get her saying. You have to get her saying Mercedes.
Oh, those your Mercedes? Those are my Mercedes. And the crazy thing is, like, you know, like I don't have anyone like her around me. She's the only one, and no one thought she was a problem until, like, you know, a year ago or whatever. And so one of the people next door, her child sleeps right up against where she lives, basically. So they're like, you know, side by side.
Leroy Jenkins, take it in.
Like, I have a 4-year-old who, you know, is listening to all this shit. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And you gotta
I got 3 kids. Here we go. Fat Kev, everybody.
It's coming in right at the right time.
Right at the right time. Kev, welcome to the program. It's Masters Week.
What's up?
What's going on?
What's up, Kev?
Sounded like you were stuttering there. What's going on? How we doing?
Well, we're just discussing. Chris has Chris, obviously, my co-host, the owner of the Stand NYC, has a neighbor in New York City who apparently loves to get drunk and play R&B late at night and yell at her boyfriend. And he recorded her yelling. What is this over the span of what? How many months, Chris?
I would say I started recording over the last month.
Oh my God. It's just a nightmare living situation. I can't believe
that is fantastic.
Yeah. Are you excited for the Masters Week, Kev?
Dude, it's like Christmas.
I know.
I'm just ready to open the present.
I know. I am
tomorrow, dude.
You know what's interesting is that Chris knows nothing about golf, so I'm gonna kind of control this segment here. I asked him to name.
Where do you think Ernie Els? How far do you think Ernie Els will make the cut? Is what I want to know.
No,
probably not, since he's not playing in the event.
Not playing in the event this year. Neither is Lee Trevino, and Arnold Palmer is dead. Has been for 2 years.
What about the Shark?
No, he's not playing. Not playing in the.
What he got caught.
What is I haven't caught much of the lead up to the Masters, and now that what I have noticed about the lead up to the Masters as I've been coming in and out of work and coming home doing radio shows and all this other stuff is that now the coverage is so extensive that you could almost watch the players play their practice rounds now on TV.
Yeah, so it's even more than that. So what they're going to do, and I think it's actually this year they're implementing it, where you can actually watch every shot of every single player in the event.
That's insane. That's how big this fucking tournament is, Chris. This tournament's huge. I'm trying to paint the picture for Chris. He doesn't really know.
No, I know how big Augusta is. I get it. It's like the Super Bowl of golf. I get it. I understand that.
Okay, here it is.
It's also where a lot of white supremacists still get together.
It's the Illuminati. The Illuminati runs the place. It's not a racist. They just had the female amateur golf tournament down there just last weekend.
Isn't Tiger Woods the only black player to ever play at Augusta?
Condoleezza Rice is a member of Augusta National.
Oh, they opened it up to black women now?
Yes, it is. They have, Chris. It's not the 1950s anymore.
I mean, this was happening. Come on, this was happening 10 years ago. What are you talking about?
10 years ago. 10 years ago, Tiger already had 2 Masters.
But they wouldn't allow women to be members 10 years ago.
I don't believe that's true. I'm not positive on that.
So he might be right, though.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. He might be right.
All right. Well, this year, the 2019 edition of the Masters Golf Tournament in Augusta, Georgia, the story is, as far as I know, is that I think the big story is that Tiger Woods is really not on the radar of being a favorite, which is kind of like a first.
Oh, he is.
I mean, I looked across the Vegas. I've looked across whatever Brandel Chambly has to say on the Golf Channel. The guys on ESPN.
Didn't he start off strong this season and then has kind of leveled off?
Well, he's 43 years old and he's still playing he's ranked 12th in the world. He's playing on par with all the other great players that are playing in their prime, young guys now. But yet he's still not on the radar. He's not being picked by these experts, so-called experts of golf, Brandel Chambly and guys like him. Which is kind of interesting because usually when Tiger Woods is playing in the Masters, he's won 4 of them. He would be the guy that people would usually choose to be a favorite to win. It's interesting. Who do you think is going to win this, Kevin?
Yeah, he's third. He's third on the rank in the Vegas betting odds. So I think it goes Rory's first, Dustin Johnson second, and then Tiger. So he's third. Yeah, I mean, I think this one's wide open. Honestly, I think there's a ton of different folks who can win it. We got a lot of. I'll just kind of go down the list real quick. So we got, Tiger Woods. Everybody wants him to win. So, that's the heart pick. And
right.
You can't bet against that. You can't bet against him at Augusta. He knows it more than anybody. He's won there 4 times. Jordan Spieth. He's had. So they had a stat on this morning. This is the worst driving accuracy. So he's 49% hit fairways, and that's the worst in 20 years of any PGA Tour member.
Oh, so Jordan's had a fucking brutal year.
He just can't hit the drive.
Yeah,
he can't hit the driver on the fucking map. Dude.
No,
the driver's all over the place.
But what's interesting about Augusta National, like you said, with Tiger, even if he doesn't, Tiger doesn't have the distance of these young cats now, but Augusta is a different type of tournament. It's a different type of course. If you have experience and knowledge and you can work the ball from left to right, you can win this tournament hands down.
That's why I'm saying don't count Jordan out.
Right.
Because he knows how to win there. He can win there. He can still putt. He can still chip. Justin Thomas, interesting comment this morning. He talked about being more aggressive, which I think is exactly what he needs to do. So he said he played real tentative the first few times he's played there,
right?
Where he's kind of shied away from pins because everybody told him to shy away from pins. So he said he's going to be really aggressive, which will be great for viewers because he'll either be really good or really bad, one or the other.
Right. What do you give me here? Here's a question for you. Out of the, let me see if I can find it. Out of the top 10 in the world ranking, Justin Rose, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, Justin Thomas, Bryson DeChambeau, and Francesco Molinari, Rahm, Fowler, and Schauffele. Who among those 10 do you think is going to be, in the mix come Sunday? Final 9 holes.
It's easy. So Justin Rose for sure, right? Best putter on PGA Tour, right? He's ranked number 1 in putting,
right?
And he's solid TD greens,
right?
Ricky Fowler, because he is the best putter, right? He makes everything. The problem with Ricky, though, is he'll probably have a double bogey in there somewhere. He'll blow up one hole, but he'll be there for sure. Dustin Johnson hits a fade, and that golf course now is there's like 6 or 7 tee shots. You have to hit solid draws. Like if you think about number 2, you got to hit a draw down that hill.
Mm-hmm.
You think about like 13, he's gonna have to go up over those trees. On
Right.
13, even like 11. Well, 11, I guess you can cut it. But 10, you have to hit that draw. So he's not hitting a draw at all. Whereas Tiger will hit the draw with his 3-wood. He's not hitting. Dustin's not hitting a draw at all. So I don't see how he can play there without hitting a draw.
I don't think he doesn't seem to play well there. So I never have him in my list of guys to pick. Rose is, I know he's number 1 in the world, and it's kind of odd to pick a number 1 in the world to win the Masters unless it's a guy like Tiger Woods. So I'm kind of not picking him, but I feel like he is a solid choice.
He came in second to Sergio 2 years ago, though.
Yeah.
Him and Sergio went down the wire, right?
Yeah, he was in the mix. Yeah.
And
Fowler
and Ricky came in second last year.
Fowler was second last year. Actually, it was funny. Somebody sent me something just before the show. Some dude bet 85 grand that Tiger would win this year. And if he did win, Tiger did win this the Masters tournament, the guy would win $1.19 million or something like that. That's unreal.
It's like 12 to 1 or something.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
I think it's ridiculous. If Tiger's leading Saturday, if after Saturday's round Tiger's leading, he wins. Right? And here's how Rory wins. So 2 things for Rory. If the golf course is wet, he's better because he can stick the ball on the green a little bit better. Right? So if the golf course is wet, he's longer than everybody, and he can stick the ball on the green a little bit easier. So if the golf course is wet, Rory's got a really good shot. If Tiger's winning on Saturday, I pick Tiger Sunday. Nobody's going to beat him on Sunday. The problem is Rory's a really, really good closer. So Rory can come from behind. If he's at least 4 shots back, Rory will come from behind. If he's 2 shots back, Rory will tumble. He won't handle the pressure.
I feel
but if he's 4 shots back where he wants to free will it and doesn't have to worry about like, hey, I just got to go after it today.
Yeah.
That's when Rory's dangerous. That's when he's really dangerous.
It'll be interesting to see if Tiger's in the mix. Certainly, like you say, maybe if he's leading on Saturday, going to Sunday, playing in the final group on Sunday.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if
bet against him.
It'd be interesting to see who of those young cats will make a run and actually step up to because I feel like
Ricky and Jordan.
Jordan, I think he would. Yeah, Jordan's pretty good under pressure.
Too.
Yeah. But
so Ricky made that charge on Reed last year.
Ricky Fowler?
Yeah, Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, he's gonna win the whole thing.
Thanks for the input there. You know who actually some people are picking, Kev, is Francesco Molinari, which would be a snooze fest
again. But he can win it.
What is that guy? Spanish?
Yeah, he's an Italian. You would love that. He's Italian.
Italians don't win at golf.
He won.
Maybe the Waste Management Open he can win. But that's about it.
No, well, he won a tournament this year, and he also won the Open Championship last year. So he won. He won
one of the 4 majors last year.
Yeah.
Which is why I've said the crop of golfers in this generation are not that great. When a guy like Francisco Molinari can come from nowhere.
I actually think you make a good point, Chris, because you got a 43-year-old Tiger Woods who is playing on the level of guys in their prime.
Come on, man. He transcends age, don't you think? Even great players like Jack Nicholson and Arnold Palmer, they transcended age. They played well into their 50s.
Right, they're legends. They're legends of the game. They're legends.
Right. So it's not surprising that he's playing well. I mean, it's that he's playing well enough to compete. He's not winning, but he's playing well enough to compete.
Kev, so the weather forecast.
So here's.
Go ahead.
Here's kind of what exactly. That's what I was going to get to. The weather forecast has Friday morning rain, and Rory, Tiger, and Ricky are playing in the afternoon on Friday. and it's supposed to be nice. So that's great for them. They don't hit the weather, but they get the benefit of the snow.
Hold on. I even got the precipitation percentages. Friday, it's 80%. It seems like it's going to be all day. Saturday, it's 80%. It's going to be all day. Well, according to Google, I don't know. Sunday in Augusta, Georgia, it's going to be 100% precipitation. So who knows? You know what? On Thursday, it's going to be sunny. If Tiger can shoot like a 65 like he did in his practice round last week, or shoot 3 under, 4 under, something like that, he'll be in really good shape. Because I don't think many people are going to make runs in the rain on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. I don't think anybody can be.
So
here's some ones to watch. Here's some ones to watch out for. Right? Some ones that could do well. Right? So first, Jason Day. That kid plays great at Augusta every year. He always does. Right? So he'll be in the mix. So Jason Day, Fleetwood. If he can, if he's got the right perm in his hair, and
good player, European player, really good. Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah,
he's got like a hunchback though.
For him.
Yeah.
Bubba, right? Because if it's wet, Bubba's distance, and he's a lefty, so he can fade the ball a ton.
Works the ball well.
Bubba, watch out for him. The problem is Bubba can't putt, and if he gets nervous, he's screwed.
Yeah.
What about Brooks Koepka?
And then it's the
Brooks Koepka. Yeah.
Koepka. Did you hear this story?
Go ahead.
This is a great story. So he, I guess, is doing ESPN The Body, the issue The Body.
Oh, yeah.
Where he got naked. And,
right.
Yeah. So he lost a boatload of weight, right? Not that he was heavy, but he just cut and shredded a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And since then,
you saying he has a delicious V shape?
He's either missed the cut or finished no better than 50th in the tournament.
Right. That is a big deal. Because golfers have done, that happened with who'd the fuck that happen with? It was some really
that
fat.
With John Daly.
Yes, yeah.
Peterson is who it really happened to.
Yeah, the guys who cut a lot of weight in their games with the shit. Yeah, which is weird.
Sergio Garcia.
Sergio Garcia. What are you saying, Chris?
I'm saying how.
Are you just reading the names? Yeah, no, he's not
actually, no, Sergio Garcia.
Yeah, he's not. He stinks. He won the Masters a couple of years ago, but it was just like
right. That's why I remember him.
Yeah, he's not a good player.
Here's 2 dark horses for your pool. Paul Casey.
Yeah.
Because he just won at the Valspar, right? And he plays really good there too. He's usually a top 10 guy at Augusta. So Paul Casey, and he putts really well. And the real dark horse is Tony Finau. So Tony Finau, with a broken leg last year, finished top 10.
Right.
After he twisted his ankle on that hole in one in the par 3 contest and almost couldn't put weight on it, still shot top 10 and for the Masters last year. So he knows the golf course. He's really long. He makes a boatload of birdies. So I think he can definitely show up. But if I'm picking a winner right now, I pick Ricky.
Do you think? I mean, I just feel like I don't know. I see. I look at Fowler, and then I look at some of the other, like Matt Kuchar. I look at those guys, and I feel like they don't. Well, not so much Fowler, but certainly Matt Kuchar and like a Finau. I feel like they don't have that. They're like those, G-go-lucky guys. You know what I mean? They make a putt. They smile. They don't have that like charge in them. I feel like.
So two
that winning
things.
personality.
So Finau hits the ball high. Finau hits the ball high and can make a boatload of birdies. He can reach anything Dustin Johnson can reach.
Yeah.
So he's really long. Kuchar, the only reason why I say not Kuchar is because his ball flight's too low. He hits the ball really, really low.
Right.
So on those greens, trying to get the ball to stop in the right spots. I mean, and plus he's super short.
What about Rahm?
He's like
Rahm. What about Rahm?
Nerves. He can't putt that golf course.
Too young.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Too young.
Too young.
He gets too pissed off.
Right.
He's going to 3-jack like 15 times.
Right.
Fleetwood could do it. Molinari could do it.
It's certainly gonna be
fun. Too sentimental.
What about Keegan Bradley?
Ricky? No way.
No way.
No freaking way.
Keegan Bradley has like one of the worst golf swings on the tour. No way.
Not even if things break right for him.
Nothing's gonna. No,
It's either gonna. I think it's either Rory, Justin Rose, or Ricky. Those are the three. Or Tiger. It's Tiger if he's winning on Saturday.
Give me one name that it's not like the pick that all the popular people are picking, like the Dustin, the DJs, and the Roses. Give me one obscure name.
Tony Finau.
Yeah, Tony Finau.
Tony Finau. Because, I mean, he couldn't even put weight on that freaking ankle, and he still shot top 10 last year. He likes that golf course a lot.
I'll go with.
He plays well.
I'll go with Charles Howell. I'll go with Charles Howell. A 125-1 chance.
Hey, you know what? That's actually not a bad pick.
Yeah, he's a gamer, dude. He's a fucking gamer.
He's a gamer.
Yeah.
He makes a ton of birdies too. He's like top 5% on the tour of birdies.
Yeah.
MP now. Yeah, Dustin Johnson.
He's the type of player that can go on a run.
And Ricky's up there too.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun, man. I love the Masters. The Masters is one of the greatest things. I don't know why. Man, I think the Masters is, if people could just experience it once, like go there and be at the course once and just see it in person once. I think golf would be one of the most popular sports ever. That course it's just amazing.
Here's the reason why that place is so great. The reason why that place is so great is the back nine of that golf course.
Right.
It's exciting. Like you can make birdie on 12, eagle on 13. You can birdie 14. You can eagle 15, and you can birdie 16. So all those holes right there but you can also make double bogeys on 13 and triple bogeys on 12 and quads on 15.
Right.
It's just so exciting coming down the stretch.
You have to hit
you're in the running. Yeah.
If you're rewarded with a good shot, and if you miss it, you're fucked. You're fucked. You got to put it in. It's
not like the U.S. Open where you're sitting there like the guy's over a 3-foot putt, and you can tell he's shitting in his pants because he doesn't know if he can get the ball to stop.
Right.
It's not like that.
Right.
Or par is a great score. I mean, that's where the PGA Tour, I think, goes wrong, or the USGA goes wrong. They make that golf course so hard that people don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch somebody suffer out of the golf course the whole time. Right. I want to watch them make eagles and birdies and light things up,
that's
why I think it's a great golf course.
One thing before we go, if there's any year for Tiger to make a run and maybe win his 15th major, it is this year, because obviously the Masters is this week. He's won it 4 times, right? 4 times. Then he's got Pebble Beach where he won by 15.
No. He's got PGA at Bethpage.
That's right. I'm sorry. He's got Bethpage where he won a U.S. Open, and then he's got Pebble Beach where he won a U.S. Open. So yeah. So if there's and plus,
he's the best long iron player on the planet. So wherever the British Open is, he's the best long iron player there ever is.
Yeah.
So British Open, he just hits little stinger shots all day long. So
yeah,
I would say this is the best year. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 2 of them.
You think, huh?
Yeah, man.
I'm excited to watch him play.
His iron game is fantastic right now.
I'm excited. He needs to putt well. I don't think he's shown that. Well. But if he can putt well, or maybe just putt like
he knows that. He knows Augusta though. He knows where he can putt it a little harder, where he can putt it a little softer. He knows where not to miss it. He knows Augusta more than anybody else on that golf course.
Hasn't Kev always been a favorite to Fowler? Any personal bias with that pick? That's coming in from Leroy Jenkins in the chat room, Kev. He says you're biased towards Ricky Fowler.
I am definitely not biased towards Ricky because my wife has a man crush on Ricky Fowler, and she absolutely loves him to death. So I usually pick against him just for that reason.
Right.
But because he's done so well in this tournament, and I think he's due, and he just got married, so I think he's ready to go, or he's just about to get married, so
right.
I think he's ready to go. I think he's good.
It's going to be fun, man. Well, I thank you, Kev, for calling into the radio program, talking a little Masters golf.
Yeah, we'll have to follow up later and do another one when it's over.
Yeah, or maybe I'll pep you. I do another show on Friday, so if something happens that's exciting, we can talk about it. I'll pep you on Friday and see if you might want to come back on.
Maybe somebody will hit a wedge shot right from your beer cup on 15 again.
Oh yeah.
When Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah, I remember that. We had a blast. Going to the Masters was the best, man. It's such a great experience to go. If you ever have a chance to go, folks, and who's ever listening, go. It's fucking amazing. It's once in a lifetime thing. All right, Kev. Thanks,
Just
man.
Make sure you count how many creepy Tiger Woods pictures there are all around Augusta, because it's a series creepy Tiger Woods pictures.
All right, dude.
You remember that?
Yeah, no, yeah.
All right, man.
All right, man.
I'll see you guys.
All right, later. There goes.
Enjoy the Masters.
Yes, fucking A. See you later.
Hey, bitch.
There he goes. There's Kev. And there's the Masters. Look at Chris over there just smiling.
I've never felt so isolated.
Out of place. Just holding up your I Love John Daly sign.
John Daly rules. Get it right. Karen.
I think we covered the entire field right there. I think we talked about every player.
You covered the field quite well.
I think we got everybody got a mention.
Yes. Even Keegan Bradley.
Keegan motherfucking Bradley got a mention. He's not going to win the match.
John's product. You know, I got to pull for the
I'd be honest with you, I would root for him, but his golf swing is brutal.
Sometimes it's unconventional, gets to do great things.
To be honest with you, Keegan Bradley has made a comeback because he was like kind of almost out of the game. I mean, actually playing in the Masters is kind of a special thing. Not many.
This is his comeback.
Not everybody gets to play in the Masters every year.
Dark horse. He'll be in the Masters this year, for sure.
Fucking A, he will. He'll be there tomorrow, teeing it up at Augusta, starting at fucking, I don't know what time they start. They start early. All right, there we go, people. I think we're done.
What? You're gonna end on that?
Fuck yeah! It's a hour and a half.
We didn't even finish the Elaine segment.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna end on that?
Oh, Elaine! I forgot about Elaine. We did all this. We did all the things, didn't we?
We cut in on this segment.
I played all the stuff though, didn't I? I did play all the stuff.
No, you didn't play the last one that I sent you.
This son of bitch all night. Chick. He trapped me.
Exactly.
I did play the one where she said she wanted to play the 911 thing. That's the last one I have. The 911.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Call 911, bitch.
I guess what I'd like to know is
what
happens? What happens from here? Like, what should I do?
I would buy a megaphone, like one of these.
Bitch, turn down that shit. Stop drinking.
You're surrounded. It's the cops.
Move your Mercedes
It's the goddamn cops.
Your Mercedes are blocking the streets.
One time.
Stop drinking all that wine.
One time when I pulled into the driveway, she thought I rubbed up against one of her Mercedeses. And so she starts ringing my bell in the morning furiously. Right? So after a night of just screaming and music, I don't fall asleep till about 4 o'clock. She's ringing my bell at 7:30 in the morning. You know, when she gets up to go drop the kids off, or whatever the fuck she does. And, you know, I don't even answer it, right? But she, you know, basically tells me, you know, you fucked up my car, which I didn't fuck up.
That's what. Hold on. Shit.
I have security cameras. I have security cameras all over my place.
Call you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, it's Joe from Kansas.
Joe from Kansas, misbehaving, right?
Yes, that is me.
Hi, misbehaving. Welcome to the radio program. What do you have?
Actually, I have been wanting to call into the show forever, but I never get a chance to listen live. And every time I do get a chance, you guys are always going on and on about shit that I can't contribute to. So I thought, well, before, so I thought, well, before you end your show tonight, I'm at least going to call in once and just say, hi, I love your show.
Well, I appreciate that, Miss Behavior.
I chimed in with all your golf stuff, and I'm not a golf fan, so I'm like, well, I tuned in. I was like, well, shit, I can't contribute to this either, but damn it, I'm at least going to call in and say hi.
What should I do about this problem I'm having? How about that?
Yeah.
Can you chime in on that?
Chris has got a problem with a neighbor who's very loud.
Did you hear any of that?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well,
no, I got to
play a short clip
right about the time Fat Cast called.
Oh, well, yeah. Chris has got a neighbor who's kind of a, I don't know. She's got a mess of a life.
A loud talker?
She's got a mess of a life. What do you have to say there, Misbehaving? Misbehaving's been listening since 2003. That's a long time. That's a long time.
Maybe before that, but I think that's about right. Somewhere around there.
I mean, Lord.
I've gone back and listened to all the old shows too before that. So I think I didn't know you guys were back on the air until, a few months ago maybe or so. Mm-hmm. So I'm still trying to get caught up on the shows that you were doing that I missed out on. So I think right now I'm on October 2008.
My Lord.
So
I really appreciate it. It's really nice.
I'm trying to catch up. So
that is a lot of listening. You must know a lot about Rockin' and I, and now you're going to learn a little bit about Chris Italia.
I knew Chris Italia from the old days. He's a tortoise guy, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Tortoise guy?
Yeah, he's the one with that damn tortoise.
Oh no, that was Danny LaBelle. That was Danny LaBelle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying I'm just as fat as Danny.
But do you know? Look, I remember that damn tortoise story from Danny LaBelle, and I almost fell asleep when he was saying it. And I was sitting next to the damn guy.
No, that story was hysterical. I love that episode. I'll never forget that.
I never know what people find entertaining. I really don't. Sometimes I'm like,
well, I've been around this long, so obviously I find you guys entertaining all the time.
Well,
so.
I appreciate it, Misbehaving. You want me to call you Miss Joe or Misbehaving?
It doesn't matter either way.
I remember you as
I changed my name on.
She's evolved,
YouTube, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
She's evolved.
I'll call you Miss Joe then. It's going to be Miss Joe.
Yeah, Chris Italia. He was
Chaos Radio.
Chaos Radio. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Well, I'm glad you called in and touched base and said hello, and I hope you possibly call back in more often. And if you have. You can call in about anything. You don't have to interrupt us, and you can change the subject. You can curse at us. You can do whatever.
I get with callers like, God damn it! I was trying to get to a point on this, and all these callers keep calling in. And I can't get to my bit, and blah blah blah. So
no, totally. Be honest with you, I don't really care. Just the people that
do all that.
folks that call in and like just yell shit, just like or yell racist crap. I'm like, that's annoying. But
right now
Those
the
are fun.
episodes that I'm trying to catch up on in the last 2 years that I've missed is when that annoying kid kept calling in.
Oh,
He's calling in like every fucking episode and cock balls and suck my balls and blah blah blah.
That's a great kid.
That kid's awesome. He's pretty good though.
Is he still calling in?
No, I haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh, you haven't?
I think at one point one of us told him to go fuck himself or something. I didn't mean to do that though. I don't remember.
Well, now that Chris Italia is on, this brought me up to another thing I'm curious about. They said I'm still in October 2018 right now that I'm trying to catch up on in the last 2 years. But whatever happened to Heidi?
She lives in Long Island. She's married. That's about
She's
it.
like a financial advisor or something, isn't she?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Do you guys still talk to her?
No, not really.
No?
She sends me a message every now and then.
Just acquaintances.
Yeah, I've heard Chris on a couple of shows that I'm on right now, and I've never heard you guys mention her. I don't know if you have since, but I was just kind of curious whatever happened to Heidi.
Well,
awesome.
when Rock and I took those 2 years off, or like retirement, we kind of just almost lost touch with everybody. And when we restarted to show up, it was just kind of Rock and I for a long time, and then I always talk to Chris. I've talked to Chris throughout my fucking life pretty much. I've been always peppering Chris. Even when Rock and I were retired, I was still talking to Chris. So
yeah, and I came to visit you.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of getting to that point now where I'm like, I really miss the old listener call-ins, like that Las Vegas guy, Radio
File.
And I miss
God.
Cockney Tony and Vox and
Vox had a
whatever
great
that
ass.
dude's name that she did on the radio show that one day. And Accent.
Gone Postal,
I'm
right?
like, oh my God, I miss all these old people that used to call in all the time.
Gone Postal, yeah. Well, people get older,
Yeah.
they life moves on. I don't know. There's no loyalty in radio. I always feel like that.
Well, I would have been if I had known, but like I said, it took me 2 years to figure out that you guys were back on the show again. So I was like,
Jim
oh shit!
is
And now you guys are doing radio shows like 3 times a week. So you're pumping out faster than I can.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up. So like when I finally figured out, I started from the very first time that you guys came back. And I've been going through every single episode until, like I said, I think right now I think the next episode that I'm getting ready to start tomorrow is something about you doing a podcast with a pumpkin or some shit like that.
Christ.
I don't know what that's about, but I think that's
that was a great episode.
It was not. I was talking. Please, I don't want it. Just skip that one.
When I saw that photo,
Miss Joe,
I cracked up.
Miss Joe, you can fucking skip some of them. You don't have to listen to every single one.
Well, I have skipped.
Okay.
Too. I skipped.
Skip years. I would
one.
suggest skipping years. If you want to know which year to skip, I can tell you. Maybe 2017. Just skip that whole year.
The only one that I skipped out on was the one that I came across this one either yesterday or the day before. The one that you had like that Brian Zombie on.
Oh yeah.
I stuck
skip
to that
that
about
one.
halfway through, and then I got bored. And
I be honest with you, I had no idea what was going on. I've learned in recent years that I'm gonna have people on that know how to do radio or are at least comfortable with me. That's what I'm gonna have on. So I have Chris. Chris knows how to do radio. Rocket knows how to do radio. TJ's learning how to do radio. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna keep. When I invite people on that have never even spoken into a microphone, it doesn't really work out well. So.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to TJ yet. I've seen him on a live episode a couple times, but I don't know who he is yet.
Yeah, he's
so
young.
I haven't gotten up to that point yet, but
he brings diversity to the show.
Yeah,
that's why
we have to fill some quotas.
Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah.
All right, Misbehaving. Thank you for calling into the radio show, and thank you for your fandom for all these years. That loyalty is remarkable.
If you talk to any of those old fans, you should tell them we're back on.
Yeah. If you
like I said, I don't get to listen live that often. I've never gotten to call in live before, but damn it all, I am on those podcasts 8 hours a day, every single day at work,
Lord,
trying to catch up until now.
Amazing.
Yes, I literally start running your podcast about maybe 7:35 in the morning, and I turn it off at 4:30.
My Lord,
and I am just going, pumping him through from the last 2 years that I've missed.
She knows my entire psyche. But she probably knows. You probably know. Oh my God!
Since the beginning of podcast time,
right?
I feel like I've known you. Like I
You're
feel
the number
like
one
I've
fan.
like met you before.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Weird.
Could be number one fan. I think I've given that title out way too easily. I feel like Miss Joe might be it.
Teacher has kind of always been ahead of me, but I think I'm kind of like,
that's only
at least she's there for live and calls in all the time. But the Cool Teacher is ahead of me, but
I don't know.
I'm kind of like in the back.
You know what? You know what? When Cool Teacher listens on Friday, because she usually listens to the Friday show, I'm gonna start pumping that Miss Joe is the number one Lunatic Radio fan. And I'm gonna see.
I'm gonna have a duel with Cool Teacher.
You're gonna have a duel. I'm gonna have to have you guys on, and you can argue it out. We can do a trivia.
Oh shit.
We can do LR trivia to find out.
You know what?
Oh my God, that is an awesome idea. Yes, I love that.
could do LR trivia. There we go.
Yes.
All right,
there you go. I love that idea.
I will send Cool Teacher a message. Actually, I can send her a message. I'll send her a message saying I think I found a better listener than you, Cool Teach.
No, because she gets to listen live and call in all the time. I usually don't get the chance to because I've got a 5-year-old kid running around and I'm always kind of busy and everything. So, I don't always get the chance to tune in live.
The fact that you're trying to play catch up, and it means a lot that you're
John D. Noodle.
John, listening to all those shows. I mean, that's you can't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah.
John D. Noodle, you should put together a brackets of best listener, but unfortunately, I think I only have 4 of them, so it'd be final 4 right off the.
Well, all the best listeners haven't been in for a while.
Yeah,
so.
they haven't been around for a while. All right, thank you, Miss Joe. We are on Friday if you want to check that one out, and we're also on. Well, we won't be on this Sunday, but
I know. I keep seeing them popping up, and I'm like, holy shit, slow down. I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I can't keep up with all these podcasts keep popping up. So.
All right, take care.
All right, well, thanks for your show. I love you guys, and you're doing a great job. So thank you for your entertainment.
Much appreciated, Miss Joe. Misbehaving, a.k.a. misbehaving. Thank you for the phone call. It was great hearing from you.
Thank you.
There she goes.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
There she goes, misbehaving. I didn't mean to hang up on her. Damn it. I didn't mean to hang up.
Nice going, dick.
She was so excited. That's really cool. She's been listening since 2003, motherfuckers. That's longer. That's longer than what podcasting's been around.
That is what 19.
How many years ago? 13, 14, 15 years ago? What fucking years?
16 years ago.
16 fucking years she's been listening to the show.
16 years,
16! If you can beat that out there, I want to know about it. That's a long time ago. Fucking A. Fucking A. What's up with the lane?
I feel like my Elaine sketch got derailed. Like
it did get punched.
I had this image in my mind of how this was going to work on the show.
You know what I need to get you? You need... Don't you have at the office? You must have a boom mic somewhere.
A boom mic?
Yeah.
What am I going to do with a boom mic?
You're going to stick it out your window. That will pick up better audio, Villain. See, look now.
See the thing, you know what I think too? I think it gets compressed. You're not getting the full scope because it sounds a lot better on my phone.
It does sound better on your phone, but when you elevate it, like what you send me is very low. Like the audio levels, when you elevate it.
Well, I mean, it is in my apartment. So
you're hanging out your window. You got the weather happening.
Use your imagination a little bit of how this feels for me.
Yeah.
But you have to just picture the fact that I'm laying in my bed. I have a wonderful king size bed. I've always wanted in my whole life. I wanted a king size bed. I wanted an apartment big enough where I could have a king size bed. I have one. I was excited about it. And now I just lay there listening to this every night.
Elaine. Fucking Elaine. Call 911, motherfucker.
My king size bed fantasies are over.
You just a drunk. I ain't never fucking you again.
This relationship is over. Never in my life.
Joshy Jingles, best listener. He was on the show, guys. Come on. John Kinsella could be a all-time listener.
Jason Kinsella.
Jason. Why did I say John?
Right.
Who's John Kinsella?
So out of touch with your
You know what John Kinsella is? He's the guy. He's fucking Field of Dreams' father.
Yeah. We to save that one.
Thank God.
This son of bitch all night.
I cut that off at the perfect time.
I feel so unsatisfied.
No shit. So do I. All right. Thank you to Chris.
Maybe next week you could actually help me with this problem.
I will.
We'll save that for next week.
But unfortunately, Elaine's got to fucking lose her shit again. Bring more audio. We need more.
All right.
We might need an interview with Elaine.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna try to work on making it.
Follow the Lunatic Radio Show on Twitter and Instagram at Lunatic Radio. If you'd like to donate to the program, www.lunaticradio.com, bottom right-hand corner. Click the donate button. Anything would be awesome. So thank you for the folks who have sent donations in the past. Word them up. Chris, Italia, the Stand NYC, final words to you, my friend. Go.
Take me home, Elaine. Take me home.
Pussy breathing.